Welcome back to our channel, my dear friends. Today, we are talking about the mindset that makes you unstoppable. Being unstoppable does not mean you never fail, never feel afraid, or never have difficult days. It means you keep moving even when life becomes difficult. You stop fearing problems that have not happened. You choose progress instead of waiting for perfection. You learn from setbacks instead of allowing them to defeat you. You stay disciplined when motivation disappears. You stop giving power to opinions that do not help your future. You stay patient when results are slow, and you keep showing up even when nobody is watching. Because your life does not change only when you feel motivated. It changes when you learn to move forward even when you don't feel like it. If you can build a stronger mindset, you can build a stronger life. So remember this before we begin. You don't have to be fearless to become unstoppable. You just have to stop letting fear decide your next move. Lesson 1. Stop fearing what hasn't happened yet. One of the biggest things that can stop you is not failure. It is fear of failure before failure even happens. You want to start something, but your mind says, "What if I fail?" You want to speak in front of people, but you think, "What if I make a mistake?" You want to apply for a better job, but you wonder, "What if they reject me?" You want to follow a dream, but you imagine everything going wrong. And suddenly, you are afraid of a future that does not even exist yet. Think about that. Nothing has happened, but you are already suffering. Your mind has created a problem, shown you the worst possible ending, and convinced you to be afraid of it. This is how fear can steal opportunities. Not by making you fail, but by stopping you from trying. Imagine two people standing in front of the same opportunity. The first person thinks, "I will wait until I am completely confident." The second person is also nervous, but says, "I am afraid, but I am going to try." Who moves forward? The second person. Not because that person has no fear, but because fear does not control the decision. This is an important part of an unstoppable mindset. You do not wait for fear to disappear. You learn how to move with it. Maybe your hands shake. Take the step. Maybe your voice is nervous. Speak anyway. Maybe you are unsure about the result. Begin anyway. Courage is not saying, "I know everything will work perfectly." Courage is saying, "I don't know what will happen, but I trust myself enough to face it." Many people lose years waiting for certainty. They want a guarantee before starting. But life rarely gives guarantees. You can prepare. You can make a good plan. You can learn. But eventually, you have to take the first step without knowing exactly where the road will lead. And sometimes, the thing you fear actually happens. You apply and get rejected. You try and fail. You trust someone and become disappointed. You make a decision that does not work. Then what? You learn. You adjust. You recover. You try differently. That is another powerful truth. Failure is usually not as final as fear makes it look. Your mind may tell you, "If this doesn't work, everything is finished." But most of the time, everything is not finished. You still have choices. You can try again. You can change your approach. You can learn a new skill. You can take a different road. One closed door does not mean the whole building is closed. You also need to stop asking only, "What if something goes wrong?" Ask another question. What if something goes right? What if you apply and get the opportunity? What if you start and become good at it? What if people support you? What if the decision you are afraid to make becomes the beginning of a better life? Your mind can imagine a negative future. So teach it to see possibility too. There is also a difference between real danger and imagined fear. If something is truly dangerous, be careful. Prepare yourself. Protect yourself. But if the only danger is embarrassment, rejection, or making a mistake, ask yourself whether that fear deserves the power to control your future. Sometimes, the price of avoiding failure is much bigger than failure itself. You avoid speaking because you might make a mistake, so your communication never improves. You avoid starting because your first attempt might be bad, so your dream stays only a dream. You avoid asking because the answer might be no, so you never discover whether it could have been yes. Years later, the biggest pain may not be, I tried and failed. It may be, I never found out what I could have become. So when fear appears, do not immediately run away. Ask, is this actually happening right now? What can I prepare for? What is the next small step? Then take that step. You do not need to see the entire road. You only need enough courage for the next move. And every time you move despite fear, something changes inside you. You begin trusting yourself. You realize, I can handle uncomfortable situations. I can survive rejection. I can recover from mistakes. I can try again. That confidence does not come from thinking. It comes from experience. Always remember, an unstoppable person is not someone who never feels afraid. It is someone who refuses to let an imaginary future destroy a real opportunity today. Stop fighting problems that have not arrived. Use your energy for what is in front of you. Prepare for what you can. Trust yourself with what you cannot predict. And take the step. Because sometimes, the life you want is waiting on the other side of the fear you keep avoiding. Lesson 2. Focus on progress, not perfection. Many people do not fail because they are weak. They fail because they are waiting to be perfect. They want the perfect plan, the perfect time, the perfect idea, the perfect body, the perfect English, the perfect first step. And while they are waiting for everything to become perfect, they do nothing. This is where you need to change your mindset. You do not need to be perfect. You need to make progress. Imagine you want to learn English. You know some words, but you are afraid to speak because you may make a mistake. So you stay quiet. You think, I will speak when my English is perfect. But how will your English become better if you never speak? You have to make mistakes. You have to forget words sometimes. You may use the wrong grammar. You may pronounce something incorrectly. That is part of learning. Every mistake can teach you something. The same is true for almost everything in life. When you first start exercising, you may not be strong. When you first start a business, you may not understand everything. When you first learn a new skill, you may be slow. When you begin creating something, your first work may not be great. That is okay. You are a beginner, not a failure. Do not expect yourself to be excellent at something you have just started. Give yourself time to learn. Think about a baby learning to walk. The baby stands up and falls, then stands again, falls again. But nobody says, this baby is terrible at walking. We understand that falling is part of learning. You should give yourself the same understanding. You are learning too. Maybe you are learning how to manage money. Maybe you are trying to become healthier. Maybe you are building confidence. Maybe you are trying to improve your career. You will make mistakes. Do not stop because of them. Learn and continue. Another problem with perfection is that it makes small progress look useless. You exercise for 20 minutes and think, that is not enough. You read 5 pages and think, that is too little. You learn 3 new English words and think, I should have learned 20. But small progress is still progress. 20 minutes of exercise is better than doing nothing. 5 pages are better than 0. 3 new words are 3 words you did not know before. Small steps may not look exciting today, but when you repeat them, they become powerful. Imagine improving only a little every day. After 1 week, the difference may be small. After 1 month, you begin noticing it. After 1 year, you may be a completely different person. This is how real growth often happens. Not through one huge action, but through small actions repeated for a long time. You should also stop comparing your beginning with someone else's result. You may see someone speaking English confidently. You do not know how many years they practiced. You may see someone with a successful business. You did not see all their difficult days. You may see someone with a strong body. You did not see all the workouts behind it. Do not look at someone's chapter 10 and feel bad about your chapter 1. Focus on your own journey. Ask yourself, am I better than I was before? That is the comparison that matters. Maybe yesterday you could do 10 push-ups, and today you can do 11. Progress. Maybe last month you were afraid to speak English, and today you can speak for 2 minutes. Progress. Maybe you used to give up after 1 mistake, but today you try again. That is progress too. Not all growth can be seen from the outside. Sometimes becoming more patient is progress. Controlling your anger is progress. Learning to say no is progress. Getting back up faster after failure is progress. Choosing a better habit is progress. Be proud of these small changes. They're building the person you want to become. And when something does not go perfectly, do not say, I ruined everything. One bad day does not destroy your journey. If you miss 1 workout, return the next day. If you waste 1 morning, use the afternoon well. If you make a mistake, correct it. If your plan does not work, change the plan. Do not turn 1 small mistake into a reason to quit completely. An unstoppable person understands this. They do not ask, was I perfect today? They ask, did I move forward? Some days you will move quickly. Some days you will take a very small step. Both are okay, just do not stop. Remember, perfection keeps you waiting. Progress keeps you moving. So start before you feel completely ready. Make mistakes. Learn. Improve. Take another step. You do not need to become your best version today. You only need to become a little better than yesterday. Lesson 3. Learn something from every setback. Life will not always go the way you planned. Sometimes you will work hard and still fail. Sometimes you will trust someone and feel disappointed. Sometimes you will prepare for an opportunity and still hear no. Sometimes a plan that looked perfect will not work. These moments can hurt. But an unstoppable mindset sees setbacks differently. Instead of asking, why does this always happen to me? Ask, what can this teach me? That simple question can change everything. Imagine you start a small business and it does not work. You can say, I failed. I am not good enough. Or you can look at what happened. Maybe the price was wrong. Maybe you did not understand your customers. Maybe you spent too much money. Maybe your marketing was weak. Now you know something you did not know before. Your first attempt did not give you the results you wanted, but it gave you experience. And experience can help your next attempt become better. This is true in every part of life. If you fail an exam, find out where you went wrong. If you lose an opportunity, improve your skills. If someone gives you useful feedback, listen carefully. If you make a bad decision, understand why you made it. Do not only feel the pain, take the lesson with you. Sometimes, a setback can even change your direction. Maybe you wanted one job, but you did not get it. Later you find something better. Maybe one plan fails and forces you to discover a new idea. Maybe someone leaves your life and you finally learn what kind of people you should keep close. At first, you may only see what you lost. Later, you may understand what the experience gave you. This does not mean every bad thing happens for a wonderful reason. Sometimes, difficult things are simply difficult. But even when you cannot control what happened, you can still decide what you do after it. That is where your power is. You can become bitter. Or you can become wiser. You can give up. Or you can change your approach. You can spend years thinking about the mistake. Or you can use it to make a better decision next time. Strong people are not people who never fall. They are people who know how to get back up with more understanding. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. At first, you may lose your balance. You may fall. But every fall teaches your body something. Slowly, you understand how to balance. Then one day you can ride without thinking about it. Life is similar. Some lessons cannot be learned only from books. You learn them by living, by trying, by making mistakes, by facing disappointment, by starting again. So do not be ashamed of every failure. Sometimes failure means you had the courage to try something difficult. A person who never tries may avoid failure, but they also avoid growth. And remember, one setback does not decide your future. One rejection does not mean you will always be rejected. One bad year does not mean your whole life will be bad. One mistake does not mean you are a mistake. Separate what happened from who you are. Say, "This did not work, but I can learn." That is a much stronger mindset than saying, "I cannot do anything." After a setback, give yourself a little time. Then look at the situation clearly. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What was in my control? What should I do differently next time? What did this experience teach me? Then move forward with the answer. Do not carry only the pain. Carry the wisdom too. The person who learns from failure becomes harder to stop. Why? Because even when life says no, they still gain something. Even when a plan breaks, they become smarter. Even when they fall, they know how to rise again. That is why setbacks do not have to be the end of your journey. Sometimes they become part of your training. Always remember, you cannot control every setback, but you can control what you learn from it. Turn your mistakes into lessons, your disappointment into wisdom, and every fall into a reason to come back stronger. Lesson 4. Stay disciplined when motivation disappears. Motivation feels powerful. You watch an inspiring video and suddenly think, "I am going to change my life." You make a new plan. You feel excited. You are ready to work. But after a few days, that feeling becomes weaker. You wake up tired. The work feels boring, results are slow, and your mind says, "I will do it tomorrow." This is the moment that separates people who only want something from people who actually build it. You cannot depend on motivation every day. Some days you will feel excited. Some days you will not. That is normal. Motivation helps you start. Discipline helps you continue. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you do not feel like doing it. If you want to become fit, you exercise even when the excitement is gone. If you want to improve your English, you practice even when you would rather watch videos on your phone. If you want to build a business, you work on it even when nobody is praising you. If you want better grades, you study even when the subject feels boring. You do not need to love every part of the process. You just need to understand why it matters. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably do not wake up every morning and say, "Wow, I feel so motivated to brush my teeth." You simply do it because it is part of your routine. Your important goals should slowly become the same. Do not ask yourself every day, "Do I feel like doing this?" Instead, decide, "This is what I do." That small change can make you much stronger. It also helps to create a simple routine. If you want to read more, choose a time for reading. If you want to exercise, decide which days you will train. If you want to learn English, choose a small daily practice time. When something has a place in your day, you spend less time deciding whether to do it. And keep your plan realistic. Do not decide that you will suddenly work for 6 hours every day if you normally do nothing. Start with something you can continue. 20 minutes every day can be better than 5 hours once, and then nothing for 2 weeks. Consistency is more powerful than one big day of effort. There will also be days when you fail to follow your routine. Maybe you miss a workout. Maybe you do not study. Maybe you waste an evening. Do not say, "I ruined everything." You did not. Return the next day. One missed day is a mistake. Giving up completely turns that mistake into a pattern. An unstoppable person knows how to return quickly. They do not wait for Monday. They do not wait for next month. They do not wait to feel motivated again. They simply begin again. You also need to understand that results often come later than effort. You may exercise for weeks before seeing a big difference. You may practice English for months before feeling confident. You may work on a project for a long time before people notice it. During this quiet period, discipline becomes very important. You are working without receiving the reward yet. This is where many people stop. But remember, just because you cannot see the result yet does not mean your effort is useless. A seed does not become a tree the day you plant it. For some time, the important work happens where you cannot see it. Your growth can be the same. Keep showing up. Keep practicing. Keep building. Let your actions become stronger than your changing feelings. And when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Do not only think about what you feel today. Think about the person you want to become. Ask yourself, what would that person do today? Then do that. Your future is built through ordinary days. Not only the days when you feel powerful. Not only the days when everything goes well. It is also built on the tired days, the boring days, and the days when nobody is watching. Always remember, you will not feel motivated every day, and you do not need to. Build discipline strong enough to carry you when motivation disappears. Keep your promises to yourself. Keep showing up, and let your daily actions build the life you want. Lesson 5. Stop letting other people control your direction. If you want to become unstoppable, you have to learn something very important. Not every opinion deserves your attention. People will always have something to say. If you start something new, someone may say, "It will never work." If you follow a big dream, someone may say, "Be realistic." If you make a mistake, someone may laugh. And when you become successful, someone may still find a reason to criticize you. If you change your direction every time someone gives an opinion, you will never know where you actually wanted to go. This does not mean you should ignore everyone. Good advice is valuable. If someone has experience, cares about you, and gives you useful advice, listen. But there is a difference between helpful advice and useless negativity. Helpful advice says, "This part needs improvement. Try doing it this way." Negativity simply says, "You cannot do it." Learn to know the difference. Do not give the same importance to both. Sometimes people judge your dream because they cannot imagine themselves doing it. You tell someone, "I want to start a business." They say, "That is too risky." You say, "I want to become an actor." They say, "That is impossible." You say, "I want to learn English." They say, "You are too old." But their fear does not have to become your limit. They are looking at your future through their own experience. You are the person who has to live your life. Imagine that you have a dream you truly care about. You work on it for a year. Then someone makes one negative comment. You stop. Think about what happened. You gave one person's words more power than 1 year of your own effort. Do not do that. Ask yourself, does this person's opinion help me build the future I want? If yes, learn from it. If not, let it pass. You also need to stop trying to prove yourself to everyone. This can waste a lot of energy. Someone thinks you cannot succeed? You do not need to argue. Someone does not understand your plan? You do not need to explain it 10 times. Someone laughs at your beginning? Let them laugh. Use that energy for your work. Sometimes the strongest answer is not an argument. It is progress. Keep learning. Keep improving. Keep building quietly. Let your results speak later. And understand that criticism is often part of growth. When you do nothing, very few people care. When you start doing something different, people notice. Some will support you, some will question you, some will criticize you. That does not automatically mean you are going in the wrong direction. It may simply mean you are doing something they did not expect. Do not become afraid of being misunderstood. Sometimes you need to believe in your direction before anyone else can see it. But stay humble too. An unstoppable mindset is not stubbornness. If you receive good feedback, use it. If your plan is clearly not working, improve it. If you made a mistake, admit it. Being strong does not mean believing you are always right. It means knowing which voices deserve a place in your decisions. Choose those voices carefully. Stay close to people who want you to grow. People who tell you the truth without trying to destroy your confidence. People who encourage your progress. People who make you think bigger. The people around you can influence how you see yourself. So protect your environment. And remember, you do not need everyone to believe in you before you begin. Sometimes you have to start alone. You have to practice when nobody cares. You have to keep working when nobody understands. Then slowly, your progress becomes visible. People who once questioned you may begin asking, "How did you do it?" But by then, you will understand something powerful. You never needed everyone's approval. You needed your own commitment. Always remember, listen to advice that helps you grow, but do not build your life around opinions that keep you small. Your future is too important to be controlled by people who are not building it with you. Lesson 6. Stay patient. Trust the process and keep showing up. Sometimes the hardest part of chasing a goal is not starting. It is continuing when nothing seems to be happening. You work hard, you practice, you stay disciplined, but the result is still small. Then your mind starts asking, why am I not improving faster? Maybe this is not working. Should I stop? This is where patience becomes powerful. Good things often take longer than we expect. You cannot go to the gym for 1 week and expect a completely different body. You cannot practice English for 10 days and expect to speak perfectly. You cannot start a business today and expect success tomorrow. Real growth needs time. The problem is that we often want fast results. We see successful people online, but we usually see the result, not the years behind it. We see the strong body, not every workout. We see the successful business, not the difficult beginning. We see the confident speaker, not the thousands of mistakes they made while learning. Do not compare your beginning with someone else's finished result. Focus on your road and keep walking. Some days you will feel strong. On other days, you may feel tired. Do not allow every feeling to decide what you do. Your feelings can change quickly. In the morning, you may feel confident. By evening, you may doubt yourself. If your direction changes every time your feelings change, you will never stay on one path long enough to see what it can become. That is why you need to trust the process, not every feeling. If you have a good plan, continue. If your habits are helping you, continue. If you are learning and improving, continue. You can change your method when something clearly does not work. But do not quit simply because today feels difficult. Sometimes, progress is happening even when you cannot see it. Imagine planting a seed. For days, you look at the ground, nothing. You water it again, still nothing. If you stop because you cannot see a plant yet, you may never discover what was growing underneath. Your goals can be like that. You may be building skill. You may be developing discipline. You may be becoming mentally stronger. You may be learning lessons that will help you later. Not every result appears immediately. So give your effort time to work and keep showing up. Show up when you feel motivated. Show up when you feel ordinary. Show up when people support you. Show up when nobody notices. Show up after a good day, and most importantly, show up after a bad one. You do not need one perfect year. You need many normal days where you refuse to stop. This is how ordinary people create extraordinary results. They keep going longer than the people who quit. There will be moments when you question yourself. That is normal. Being unstoppable does not mean you never doubt yourself. It means doubt does not become your final decision. Rest when you need to. Learn when you make a mistake. Change your approach when necessary. But keep your eyes on where you want to go. Think about where you could be 1 year from today if you simply kept going. A little stronger, a little wiser, more skilled, more confident, closer to the person you want to become. You may not notice the difference every day, but small actions repeated for months can create a life that looks completely different. That is why you should respect slow progress. Slow does not mean useless. Slow does not mean failure. Slow progress is still taking you forward. And this brings us to the biggest lesson of this entire video. A powerful life begins with a powerful mindset. When fear comes, you move anyway. When you make mistakes, you learn. When motivation disappears, you use discipline. When people criticize you, you protect your direction. When results are slow, you stay patient. And when life knocks you down, you get back up. That is what makes you difficult to stop. Not talent alone, not luck, not motivation, but the decision to keep becoming better no matter how many times life tests you. You do not become unstoppable because everything becomes easy. You become unstoppable because you learn how to keep going when it is hard. Trust your work. Stay patient with your progress and keep showing up. Your mindset can change your actions. Your actions can change your future, and your future can change your life. My dear friends, before you leave, remember this. An unstoppable mindset does not mean you never struggle. It means you refuse to stay down. Fear may come, but you keep moving. Mistakes may happen, but you learn from them. Motivation may disappear, but discipline keeps you going. People may doubt you, but you stay focused on your future. Results may take time, but you remain patient. You do not need to change your whole life in one day. Just make the next good choice and keep showing up. Because every small step is building a stronger version of you. If this video inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And share it with someone who needs motivation today. Before you go, remember, do not wait for life to become easier. Build a mindset that becomes stronger. Keep learning, keep growing, keep moving forward. Become so committed to your future that giving up is no longer an option. I'll see you in the next video.